Well, hello, welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome to the first video of 2022. I have been so gassed about bringing this video to you guys. One, because it's the first video of the year. Two, because it's going to be one of our signature videos where we get some nasty damage, prep it, paint it and restore it to absolute perfection. This is an Audi TT 45 Black Edition S-Line, finished in Glacier or Glacier White. Let's go. So you've seen the damage on this Audi TT, guys, and what the plan is today is to prep the scratch, blend the colour through the door and then clear coat out. I'm not sure whether I'm going to clear coat to the edge or whether I'll just clear coat to the middle of the door. I'll cross that bridge in a second, or I'll pick that up in a second as to why I haven't reached that decision yet. Also, the colour will go into the front wing and then same process through the front wing with the clear coat. That will be blended or blown in somewhere around the centre of the wing. The badge will be removed, then refitted at a later date. You may ask, why do I not just lacquer out the complete door? It's about 5 degrees. If I can make that repair area small as possible, it will make my life a lot easier, because it's very hard to get heat into the panel and for it to stay when you're doing such a large area. So if I've got 3 heat lamps here and I preheat the panel, by the time I actually get to the edge with the clear coat, the panel's probably not going to be very worn. I have a risk of the paint not gripping to the panel, runs. It obviously then takes longer to heat the clear coat once it's been applied. So if I can try and keep it as small as possible, just makes life a little bit easier, and also keeps the risk of any problems when applying paint or clear coat that much smaller. If it was the summer months, then I'd probably just go straight to the edge, to be honest, because if it was like 15 or 20 degrees, it's not far off spray booth temperature, and generally it's fairly straightforward. But today it's pretty damn cold, but it's a beautiful January morning and I'm not complaining about the weather. So that is that. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to go through in some detail about all the products that I use step by step as I come to each process, and what they are and where you can get them from, because that is something that keeps becoming more and more common questions from you guys on how and where you can get your hands on the products that I use. So first things first, let's get a spray out done of the colour and then we'll start the preparation process. Why do we do a spray out first? Because if you do not check your colour first, if at all, by the time you've done the repair and you pull all the masking paint or masking tape off, no matter how good your repair is, your client is not going to be happy if the colour doesn't match, and we see that all too often. So spray out has been completed. Sikkens water-based standard shade, Sikkens water-based system. For those of you in the trade, you'll know what that means. Now I've sprayed out the base coat onto a spray out card. This is the standard shade, so I don't have to use lacquer or waste any pots. I literally just spray a solvent-based degreaser onto the spray out card, and that will replicate a gloss clear coat finish. Offer that up to the vehicle. Hey presto, we have a perfect blendable match. I'm happy with that. Now this process takes minutes, guys, so if you're a repairer, don't be lazy, do your spray out card, do it right and do it once. I'm a firm believer in that. Now we will start the preparation process. First things first, remove the badge. Couple of ways of doing this. I use a spreader, plastic spreader. You can use, like, I think people use like some kind of rope. I've seen like the boys at Yanamai's they use like string or rope, because this could potentially scratch the panel, but obviously I'm going to paint it, so if there's a light scratch in the clear coat, it's really not going to matter at all, to be honest, because I'm going to key it up with like a 1500 Scotch-Brite anyway, so that's essentially going to scratch up the panel. So if you're going to prep the panel, spreader's absolutely fine. Otherwise, you need to think about an alternate option. So, badge removed. Now we'll sand this area, and then I think we'll run some music right about now. Right guys, the tools and products that I used through the preparation process was my trusty Mirka dual action sander. To take out the initial scratch, I used a 320 disc. This is a netted auto net disc. Now these are substantially more expensive than your base cut discs or your Mirka gold discs, which are the cheaper sanding discs. They look a little bit like, that's a base cut disc, which as I say is about half the price of one of these. Now what is the difference? These last twice or even 3 times longer than these discs, so you'll go through a lot less. I swear by these. Mirka sent me out a box a few months ago. I tried them out, absolutely loved them, and I've been using them ever since. So thanks for that, Mirka, you converted me. I then went with a soft pad, which looks like that, on my dual action sander, and I then used a 500 grit paper, which looks like this. Now this is again a slightly different quality of sanding disc. This has a lot of holes in it because it's designed to be used with a vacuum. Obviously when I work outside I don't have a vacuum system, but if you work in an indoor environment like in a body shop, then these holes are designed to work with a vacuum and it sucks all the dust through. A very good disc as well. They also last a hell of a lot longer than your base cut disc or your Mirka gold disc. A little bit more expensive, but again very good. These look like this, the iridium disc. My personal preference are these ones, the auto net. They are my favourites, but these are much better. Again, similar sort of cost to auto net. I then scotched the panel with a grey Scotch-Brite and some Sickens prep and blend paste. That helps to remove any dust, any dirt, any contamination, and also helps to key up the area that we're going to be working on. The panel was then degreased and cleaned using a solvent-based degreaser and some degreasing wipes. So that is what I've used so far. Now what we'll do is we'll mask out the job, we'll get it primed, and then we'll get it painted very, very shortly. So let's do it. Actually, I forgot to mention, for those of you that haven't seen the van refurbishment video, have you noticed the back of my van? I mean, look. Look. I have been so gassed by the conversion that King's Fleet Services, shout out to these guys, they're absolute legends, of the work that they have done to my van. If you hadn't seen what my van looked like before this video, click somewhere on the screen now to watch the video of how it looked before, King's Fleet Services working on it, and how they brought it up to what it is today. Absolute legends in the game. And if you want your van refurbed or fitted out, or you're looking to venture into the world of mobile smart repair, be sure to give those guys a shout, because they can give you the best advice as to how to go about it. Their details will be in the description of this video. Quick look around the van as to what I've got on it. To my right hand side, you've got the 3M polishing system Everything from just literally a hand wax to a fast cutting compound to a medium cut and an ultra fine hologram remover. I've got a rotary Milwaukee polisher. Up the top I've got some aerosols, everything from a plastic trim repair kit to clear coat, aerosol clear coat, a 1K primer. What else have I got? I've got some paints over the side here. I've got some clear coats, 2K clear coats. I've got paint protection. I've got 2K primers. I've got a range of guns. I've got a new gun here, which is LPH80. More on that will come on a later video. As you would have seen, I've got my sanding disc up here. Behind me, I've got lifting equipment from jacks, axle stands, impact guns, mini sanders, mini polishers. The list goes on. So yeah, shout out one more time to King's Fleet Services, absolute legends. Smashed it with my van refurbishment. Back to work. Everything is baked now, guys, and what I'm doing here is just cooling the panel down back to temperature. Just quickly, I must apologise for the sound quality. The primary camera has developed a fault and we've had to switch the backup camera. The mic isn't working with that, so you may find the sound quality has dropped. Apologies, but we will persevere. So as I say, I'm just cooling down the repaired panels. Products that I've used is the clear coat is Max Mayer 0200, which is a HS clear coat with a fast hardener. I then used Speedzeker's Speed Blender to fade out the areas where I stopped with my clear coat, both from the front wing and on the door. All the products that I've used today can be purchased from BodiCraftSupplies in Watford, and the link to their website or their details will be in the description of this video. Now, what we'll do is we'll go through the flat and polishing process. I'll use some 2000 wet and dry paper with a 3000 Trizac on a dual action sander, and then we'll use 3M's polishing system to bring the paintwork up to a showroom condition. So there's not going to be much more talking now until I get the desired results. So let's do it. Well, that looks like this Audi TT 45 Black Edition S-Line is complete. That is a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? As you can see, the job is absolutely seamless. I'm over the moon with it. I've thoroughly enjoyed carrying out the repairs and, more importantly, making this video for you guys. This is what I absolutely love doing. So I've decided that I'm going to put more of the old content that we used to put out more frequently this year. This is the first video of 2022 completed, and there will be many more to come, I can assure you of that. If you've liked this video, hit the like button for us. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. We're very close to 4K subs at the time of making this video, so hopefully over the next few weeks we'll breach the 4K barrier and move on to the target of 5K. If you've liked anything that you've seen me using in this video, don't forget you can get those products at BodiCraftSupplies in Watford. There will be a link to BodiCraftSupplies in the description of this video, and I think that's pretty much it. As always guys, thank you for watching. If you're new around here, I am Scott King from Vehicle Damage Repair. Make sure you come back to the channel, or you look at previous videos that we've made prior to this one. And I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.